What is up, everybody? Alex here, 128 channel, bringing you a video of my 3 RTRC RTA 1.2s that I run now. There's been a lot of questions regarding the new V2 front end, no droop screws, how to adjust ride height, etc., etc. So we're gonna go ahead and kind of just do a run through on my two-wheel drive mod, my super stock, and my pan. Go ahead and get these out of the way. First up is gonna be my two-wheel drive mod, which is the car that I've been using the most lately. This is the car that I also was using in pan and two-wheel drive mod, and all I did was just kind of change the front bumper and some minor spring adjustment. Currently am running the Hoppy Wing 6000 kV. I don't know if that'll focus or not. Anyways, and then I am running the Easy Run Mini 28, as you can see here. A11 servo saver, and yeah, that's really the basics to it. So start on the front. We are running the new RTRC front bumper, which is awesome. I like it. It's nice and slick, pretty, fits well. I know that was an issue kind of prior before. We didn't know what bumper to use, so that just came out in new release. So make sure you check out Justin at Mini RC Planet. I'm sure he'll have a couple of these in stock. Next up is going to be my spring setup for the front, which is going to be yellows. I alternate between blue and yellow depending on track condition and what body I'm using. From there, we're going to go to the sway bar, which I'm using the blue sway bar, and of course the V2 front end. Now, I have always ran the D19 RTRC wheels on flanged and full height KS firms or mediums. Now, most people are like, you don't true them, you don't cut them, you don't do anything to it, and honestly, I don't. I just tape it on, put it on, and I run them in. This is how I normally start my day. Just go ahead and get it going, and honestly just use the track to scrub it in. That's just what I like to do. Not for everybody, but it's just what I've been accustomed to now. We're moving back. We do have the servo saver right here, A11 Samuel receiver, and then on the back I am running a green spring yellow for two-wheel drive mod. And of course, trusty old ball diff, just because that's what I'm accustomed to now, and it's honestly a lot easier. I did run a gear diff for a long time with my other cars, but with the RTRC I just feel real comfortable with the ball diff. And then my pivot springs are going to be green, as you can see there. I am running full brass on this car for now. I was just running aluminum last club race. Decided to test out the full brass, and just got to do more testing and stuff, because it's going to go down to the 5000 kV motor from Hobby Wing and just play around with a tune and stuff like that. I do run marker 15s in the rear on +2 D20 RTRCs, and that's really it. That's the basic setup on my car. Nice, simple, and easy. Put that to the side. Go ahead and bring the pan car out. Pan car, currently I just got done building it. It's a little different setup just because I want to try different variations of where to put the ESC and the receiver and stuff like that. But it's simple. RTRC does have a pan car bumper. I just don't have that base. I lost it for some reason. So but I'll be putting this on, but for now I am using the MWX front bumper, weighted bumper. Nice, simple, clean setup. We'll work ourselves from the front again. I am using blue front springs with a blue soy bar, V2 front end. I use firms on this car most of the time, just like I do in my two-wheel drive. A11 servo, Hobby Wing ESC case, just because I had it laying around from when I first got the car. The receivers in the back over here. Stock springs for now until I get it on the track. I did forget to mention that I do run the gold PN spring and no dampener or spring in the bottom. That's what I like. GL 4500 on a 14 tooth pinion, and this one has a gear diff since I am running a 4500. Brass chassis, aluminum rear pod, Mark 15 on 14mm wheels from PN. And that's the basic setup on this one. Next up, it's going to be my super stock car. Again, super simple. Hobby Wing, of course, on this one as well. PN 2500. We'll work ourselves from the front. I am running the green front spring on the super stock with a blue sway bar as well. V2 front end. Servo saver as well. Hobby Wing ESC A11 servo. For the top springs, I was running white and white when I last tested. It felt a little tippy for me, so I went ahead and just went to yellow. Haven't tested it yet, but hoping to this weekend. Same as my two-wheel drive mod and pan car, gold on the dampening spring from PN, no bottom spring. I am running red rears and a gear diff as well. So that's the basic of my three cars that I have. Now, what a lot of people get confused with is that when we're adjusting ride height and trying to get the right ride height, we're wanting to use the shocks to adjust the ride height. Now, what we want to do is make sure that your arms are leveled when it's on the ground, right? So when it's on the ground, you want to make sure that these arms are leveled with natural weight of the car. And what people seem to do is that they adjust it with the collar or the front shock to get the ride height that they want, which is a very common mistake, or like they used to do in the old now what people used to assume and want to do is adjust ride height with droop screws that were right here. Very, very common mistake that people did, and it caused a lot of binding and people not liking the car because they thought this was the adjustment, which is not. Now, because of the issue that people were having of wanting to adjust ride height with the droop screws, is why we went droopless, right? There's no longer droop screws. He whitened the front end a little bit, and then he added more caster to the front end and eliminated that front droop screw, that droop screw setting, for complications and confusion of people thinking that that's what it was meant for, which wasn't. Now, yes, some fast guys are wondering why. Doesn't make any sense. It's slower, whatever it is. I personally like it because I am one of those new guys that don't know much about setting up cars and putting, where do I put the droop at? What does it do? What spring does, that's, the car is intended for newer people that want to get into the hobby, that want to run either super stock or stock, lipo, that just want an easy build car. That's why he eliminated even trying to have that adjustment on this. Okay, that's the whole reason why. and that's why we went with this. Cool. Now we get that out of the way, and I'll go ahead and explain what I use and what we use as a team to go ahead and lower the ride height. Lowering the ride height consists of using a kit shim that he released or had released, part number RT089 or RT056 for the front. Now these shims come in various sizes. Oh, I almost dropped that camera. Sorry guys. They come in various sizes, just like we see right here. So you have like your biggest one right here. And then I believe these are the smaller one. Medium size, second biggest one. And then the smallest one. Now if you guys want, we'll go ahead and measure it, see what the size is of each one, because I know that's going to be a question and I don't know the answer to it. So let's go ahead and zero this out. Cool. So we'll grab the biggest one, we'll measure it, and 1.73, not really, 1.45, 1.46, somewhere around there. That's how big this one's measuring on my caliper. This is exact, I have no idea. No clue, don't quote me. I'm just giving you guys a reference of what it is. Second biggest one. Let's see. About 1. So maybe it's like half, give or take. Okay. And then the smallest one. So yeah, so it looks about 0.5. Each of them are roughly 0.5, give or take. Okay, that is how I adjust ride height. Now, I run my car typically a lot higher than everybody else. Normally I measure my car and it'll be with fresh new tires without any ride height adjustment shims. I'll measure it right around 2.2, give or take, 2.0 with D19 wheels full height. Now, this is how easy and simple it is to adjust the ride height on this car. Give them a nice little tool. We're gonna go ahead and grab the Torx, the T6. I'm gonna go ahead and this one's from the bumper, this is for the front suspension. Go ahead and just unscrew real quick. 2 screws. Slap that puppy in there. We'll put this puppy in there, and we'll just go with the biggest one, right? Just because this will pop off, as you can see, and there's only one way you can put these so the holes line up correctly, okay? So be aware of that. It's a lot harder than I thought. I won't fast forward it so you guys can see how terrible I am at doing this and how I don't make it look easy. But it is quite easy to do ride height adjustment on this car. Now by doing so, I've just lowered the car, whatever it is that we just lowered it by, etc., etc. Yay, nay. We get the idea. So now the shim's in there, car's lowered. What I do is I'll just make sure it's nice, it's compressing or whatever it is, and then I will go ahead and double check my arms and stuff like that whenever time comes to come. Now normally I don't use shims whatsoever when I first get on the track, just because our track's normally green, and we take it off every week, after every weekend that we race, because we have other activities that we do at the track, which, by the way, shout out to RCHQ here at San Antonio, Texas, and Rolling Oaks Mall. Appreciate you guys. Home track, my first sponsor as well, so thank you. But normally I don't use it. I like to scrub in my tires tall, get the feel for the car, and then if I feel like throughout the day after scrubbing in tires, the car is still tippy, or it feels like it just has too much body roll or something like that, I'll go ahead and just add a shim or two. But I hardly ever use them. Now, come around a high bite track like Limo, I did use it, I think, on my two-wheel drive mod, which is the same car I use for fan, and I used a medium size one, which is like a millimeter or whatever it is. Oh crap, sorry guys. Cool. And that's, just a little quick example of taking it off, on, stuff like that. But yeah, that's really it on the front end part. There are videos out there which I'm surprised not many people know of, building the car to kit specs, which is how I build my car. I build my car to kit specs, and from there I adjust of what I need. Now, because of the new front end, you're gonna add 1 millimeter to the arms because it's wider. So originally you'd be at 23.8, you go to 24.8, and then same thing for, not the same thing for the anti-roll bar for these right here. Let's see if we can get it to focus a little bit. Right, you're gonna go, I think, from 8.7 to 9.3. I believe that's what I run mine at. So with the new V2 front end, that's what you're gonna do. Now, do you need the anti-roll bar for the new front end or the old front end? No, you can actually run it without. I ran my super stock for a long time without a V2 front end. Now, I didn't race it much, but I did practice with it because I needed to give some data to Thomas and Lorenzo and the team on what I was doing and what I felt was doing well with the new front end without the sway bar. Now, do I recommend getting the sway bar? Most definitely. I mean, it makes the car drive incredible. It's very consistent, it's fast, and honestly, you can't really go wrong. So yeah, I did try out some KSM mediums on it, and it did good. It wasn't bad. So that's that. I think I kind of covered almost everything. Anything. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, anything like that, please let me know. Either on Facebook, YouTube, whatever it is. Let me know what questions you have or what videos you'd like me to do on what, and I'll start making some more videos and hopefully helping everybody out on the RTA 1.2 and the V2 front end. Other than that, man, that's all I got. Hope to see you guys at the next club race at RCHQ. I believe that's going to be like August 26th. Road to the World Series that we have going on. Don't miss out. September is going to be a 2-day race for one of our series races, so make sure you're there. You're not going to want to miss that race. That race is going to be very, 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 very important, and if you can make it, you probably should, especially if you're from Texas. Okay, if you're from Texas or you want to get ready for the Worlds, that's a race you want to be in September. Make sure you follow RCHQ on Facebook and try to join our group, RCHQ Racers. And of course, hit like, subscribe, share, criticize, whatever it is that you guys want to do. My feelings won't be hurt, maybe a little bit, but it's all right. Thank you guys, and see you on the next round.